Nation, welcome back to the channel.
Champions.
In today's video, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going over a recent article from Bloomberg. Bloomberg opinion.
One and only Bloomberg.
Yeah, so we also have an opinion of ours then. In this article, Bloomberg discusses the impact of the recent banking crisis. Right, we've seen First Republic, Silicon Valley Bank, and Credit Suisse take a massive jab to the face. But the question is, what sort of impact would this have on the economy, right, the financial industry, and how would these events be a catalyst, or how they may be a catalyst that triggers a recession for the entire banking system as we know it? Let's jump into it. Double up.
Crisis. It's almost like we're living in a crisis, year.
An era of crisis.
Yeah. The crisis is not stopping, literally. Yeah. It's been COVID, coming out of COVID, then it's logistics, just name it. But for some reason, it seems like once this crisis starts, they never stop.
Absolutely.
It just accumulates.
Well, you know, they say when it rains, it pours. It seems that's what is happening here.
Yep, and this is no different what's going on in the financial industry. We've seen it with what happened with COVID, and I think we're seeing it with banks. And people just got to ask themselves,
right,
is it going to now stop with First Republic Bank, or is it going to continue? And from what we've known from experience, whatever happens in America impacts the rest of the world.
Right.
You know, the rest of the world uses the US dollar as the global
reserve currency.
Reserve currency.
Yes. Which is interesting because that makes it a single point of failure.
Ooh, tell them.
Which is what decentralization is all about. Well, let's dive into some of the specifics of these bank failures, right? The reason behind your struggles, as we talk about points of failures here, as well as the potential fallout for clients and the wider financial world. Because it seems, like you were saying, this is just the gift that keeps giving, not going away because the problem is not resolved.
Nope.
We're seeing issues like rising interest rates, inflation. If no one sees the inflation, well,
hey,
I want to live in the world you live in.
Even the ECB can't see it.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, it's barely there.
They tell us it's going down.
Yeah,
but is it really going down?
Well, you know, if you massage the numbers, change the way you measure these things, the numbers are going down. Right.
Oh, man.
We also see things like rising unemployment, which is very unfortunate.
Jerome Powell said that's what he wanted.
Absolutely.
He wants you guys to lose your job, lose your savings to fix the problem.
Yes. And I think that's also a point where I think everyone should notice that it is very important to take control of your financial destiny instead of allowing a random person somewhere to decide that you no longer need a job because there's too much money
in the system.
Money which they printed. We also see other issues like failing asset prices.
Is it failing or falling?
I mean, all the same. It's failing. It's not moving in the right direction. You know?
Real estate is getting destroyed right now. Commercial real estate, even your car. If you call your car an asset,
I guess we want to call it a. Look, it's just one of those environments where nothing is performing well.
Stock market,
which is striking, right? And of course, lower consumer spending as a consequence, and geopolitical tensions.
Ask me the last time I went to the restaurant.
When did you go?
Actually, last week.
Actually, the last time I went to the restaurant was almost 3 months ago when I was on a date.
Yeah.
And this person was on their phone the whole time. Put your phone away, people. When you sit at dinner with someone and they're on the phone the whole time, you look like a maniac. Abi? Anyway, moving on. Look, if you've been paying attention, right, and I know economics class was scarce by all of us, right? They run it by us very scarcely. We never, you know, I don't know if you took a deep level of economics in general studies, right? Because unless you go into econ specifically, you'll not get it. But if you pay attention to economics, you realize that all of these things are variables that are connected.
So interconnected,
and affecting our day-to-day life. So it is difficult for any business to operate in an environment like this, much less the banks.
You are not kidding.
Yeah.
Especially the geopolitical tension that nobody was expecting that Ukraine-Russia situation, which is impacting oil prices.
This is true.
And then now we have the BRICS coming together saying, hey, wait a second, we don't want to use the USD.
Right.
We want to create our own currency to transact globally.
Right.
Just so many things impacting the banks, and the banks are just like, okay, we have no clue. And the sad part about all of this is that these banks got too greedy with the free money times,
Yeah.
and they packed all the money in government bonds, which is now kicking their butts. Well,
Yeah.
I was think that Jerome Powell knows what he was thinking about when he was doing this.
Well, I think from an investment standpoint, right, for the banks, which were saying they pack all this money in bonds,
Yeah.
it seems to me that your investment strategy is based on the understanding of this structure that they've set in place. So if the structure is not working as expected anymore,
Yeah.
we find out that you're not able to move quick enough to realign your portfolio,
yeah,
re-diversify, right?
You're kind of stuck in a position.
Exactly. I remember when at the beginning of COVID, when all the retail investors were rolling into the stock market, and you had analyst after analyst come on and say, "Oh, they don't know what they're doing. They don't know. This is not the way the markets are. They think that they're winning." Listen, you guys have also been caught with your pants down. You were not able to react to this. Look, go ahead.
I found one thing interesting though.
Yeah.
Because reading this Bloomberg article, the author seems to think that the same people that have created this problem
Right.
seems to be the solution. So in the article, it said, the Federal Reserve needs to quickly halt the all interest rate increases
Right.
and start increasing government spending. And I'm like, wait a second, isn't that what got us in this mess in the first place? You put the wolf in charge of the ship. Come on, man.
Exactly. Lower interest rates. They say they want.
They did. That is why the lower interest rate printed a bunch of money,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Gave the money to a bunch of their bodies.
Yes.
Their bodies did not put the money back into the economy. They put it back into more businesses.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And now they're saying, oh, well, let's go ahead and do quantitative tightening. We're creating inflation.
Well, if you run the exercise again, I think it's going to be different this time.
It's going to be different. It's the same thing each time.
No, you never know until you run it again. You run it again. Okay, because we've been running on free money policy.
Yeah.
Right, for what, 2 years straight now?
Non-stop.
Actually, it's been more than 2 years now.
Actually, but they stopped. That was why we had in the situation that we were in.
Yes.
We did that throughout the whole COVID situation. We came out of COVID, pushed out a couple of free money, and then we said, wait a second, this is destroying the economy.
Exactly.
So they're trying to tighten the whole situation, and of course it damages the economy as well. So no matter which direction, which angle that they take a look at it,
Exactly.
they're getting destroyed.
Isn't it's been the same thing. I think it's the important thing to be pointing out here. Everything that they're doing here has been the same thing since the implementation of the Federal Reserve.
Yes.
Since, what was it, 1913?
Yes, sir.
And like with other economies in the past, right, when we look at empires that have failed, multi empires that have failed over the decades and centuries, I think this is just one of those situations where we're now coming to the end of the life cycle of this current one, right? Being the fiat system and the Federal Reserve. So the banking failure, right? It's one banking failure or a system failure after another since, well, I think it's become more prominent since the lockdown situation. I think locking down and printing that much money, which was an exercise that has never been carried out before,
So fast.
was signing the death of the fiat system. But, I cannot say I'm mourning its death.
I like to sometimes think that the death of the fiat system happened in 2008.
It did.
But we implemented quantitative easing as a way to extend it further.
Yeah.
And then COVID happened, and we had to face it again.
We all got invited to the funeral at that point.
Yep.
That's what happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
So literally, the system is broken. It's designed to break eventually.
Right.
You cannot just create so much money that did not exist through energy or through proof of work, through GDP.
Absolutely.
Because when you do that, you create inflation. You cannot blame the millennials for inflation. You cannot blame Russia for inflation. You literally blame your policies, our elected leaders' policies, for what's going on and what's destroying the economy.
Yeah.
And you know, constitutionally, originally when America was created, the goal was to separate money from government. But I think government has gotten too much involved in trying to move the goalposts to work.
I know that's why I think there's a massive complication, because we want the separation of state from money and separation of state from religion as well.
Yep, yep, yep.
But the Federal Reserve is not a government entity,
But they act like one.
so they get
They got
they
empowered by Congress.
yeah, and I think that one of the downfalls of this of the Western society is this loophole bullshit,
Mm.
right?
That was the back door.
There is loopholes to everything, and they use the loopholes to inflict damage upon their own people,
Mm.
right? So it's I think when you have a clear cut situation like separation of state and power, but then you create an entity that is not a government entity. So you can say it's not a government entity, but it is acting and
Like
carrying
what?
out things that are affecting, right, our government and our economy. It's a problem.
It is.
It's essentially money and state together, right? So they can manipulate it all they want and jump around the loopholes. The outcome is the same.
It's the same.
It's garbage.
Yep, yep.
Correct.
Which is why we're saying that from everything that we've mentioned here, that the system is going through external factors that we can't even control.
Yeah.
It seems like it's coming to an end. I know it sounds scary, but and we're kind of talking about it lightly. But the reality is that we've had one failure after another, after another, after another.
Yeah.
Now, interestingly enough, after that 2008 financial crash, where we saw the actual end, but
Right.
we implemented or created the new solution, which was quantitative easing.
Right.
Bitcoin, was developed, was created to say, wait a second, we can have a much more disciplined financial system that requires proof of work.
Yeah.
No, that is transparent, which
Yes.
government currently isn't. That is global, right? That unites nations instead of constantly going to war. Because one of the
it.
reasons why we have heavy government spending, which again the author in this article, Bloomberg, thank you, is talking about increasing government spending for what? To go to war? All the government spending that we've been doing, has it
Yeah.
better you and our lives? Literally no.
No, it's not.
So that's a mathematical solution that keeps the humanoids, or like to call it humanoids, impacts
Yeah.
out of the equation. But everybody seems to just put it on the side. But those of us that understand that, that's my Bitcoin logo over there.
Hey.
We've captured the fact that we know that we're in a broken system.
Yes.
And we need to start finding ways to fix it. We can't just park it or keep extending it to the future.
Yeah.
I'm sure one of the plans now is, let's go ahead and create a CBDC. We can kick it further. But CBDC, you still get to print money out of thin here.
Hey.
CBDC is not going to stop inflation.
I like to say CBDC is proof that Bitcoin worked,
There you go.
because it is the same technology,
Yep.
except that it's Bitcoin that is controlled by people who do not have your best interests at heart. Bitcoin controlled by people who just currently are freshly wrecking your bank account, wrecking of your future, happening right now. Your financial future, your children's financial future, they're wrecking it right now.
Yep.
And then we have this incredible solution, Bitcoin, which they've photocopied it and have control of it, and they'll like for you to join it. So not only can they wreck your future generations can wreck your future generations' future generations.
In Europe, they call it Bitcoin.
Get them.
Talk about photocopy.
Exactly. Right. So,
jeez.
like you were saying, open, decentralized, right?
Yes.
Verifiable by everyone.
Returns the value back to the value creator. Not someone
Exactly.
that just creates paper money out of tin year and call it value. What
Absolutely.
value?
Exactly.
It's gone.
Gone.
Just like that with interest rates.
It's gone as we're about to be gone on this video, Double O. Let's wrap this one up. Absolutely incredible. What would you say is a main point that you take away from everything that we've spoken about here today? If you could summarize it, Double O, what would you share with the people?
I'll use an idiom. You can't put the wolf in charge of the sheep.
Damn. strong.
That's literally it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh.
You cannot put the wolf in charge of the ships.
Yeah, because the wolf would, just feast on the
Just
sheep.
feast them, and eventually until they are no more.
Who is
and
the
then-
sheep in this situation, and who is the wolf?
Everybody in America is the ship. A lot of people are the ship. The wolf is the Federal Reserve, the bankers.
Yes. Yes.
The wolf of Wall Street.
Yes,
You get it?
yes, yes,
Take the
yes,
pigs
yes,
take the pig to the market and slaughter them. You know how many people got slaughtered?
What is a sleek animal that will get away from a wolf? A fox, isn't it?
What the fox say? Whoa,
Yes.
whoa.
The fox says buy Bitcoin,
Yeah.
right? To get away from the wolves. And when you buy Bitcoin, you'll be a fox on steroids, which makes you a big fox, potentially a lion. We cannot
bull.
you cannot hand out lion or bull easily like that, man. You have to earn your stripes for yourself. At the same time, we're not the one handing it out, so who knows?
That Android Miami Bitcoin bull.
Exactly. Oh, dude, that bull is badass, dude. That was
Yeah.
a cool ass bull. Anyway, I wish we had a picture. We would have pulled it up, but we'll find it next time. Ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts? We hope this video was valuable to you. Are you buying Bitcoin? Let us know. Or do you see Bitcoin as a valuable alternative to the current financial system? The current failing financial system as we see it, right?
Crumbling.
Exactly.
You know how they like to use those synonyms?
Yeah, sliding, dropping, crumbling. This is a good one. I actually would like to, from now on, sir, when we talk about these failing banks, we'll say these banks have fallen, slid, dropped, plunged to all-time lows. Because that's how they run their articles all the time. We have to bring that back on down. Absolutely. Failing system, plunging and sliding to the downside. We will now proceed to, how would you say, extrapolate ourselves from this,
From the system.
from this, yeah.
Escape the wolves.
And that's what Bitcoin does.
Yeah.
So then, ladies and gentlemen, like the video, okay? Please subscribe, okay? There we go. Right. We noticed there's a lot of people watching and not subscribe. It makes us wonder, why are you doing that?
Why?
Okay. Also follow us on Twitter, STAKKFin. We're also on Facebook, STAKKFin. We have a new design. We'll be firing Instagram soon, right? You see, I almost guarantee you, Instagram is going to be sliding, plunging, and dropping to the wayside.
There's a rumor that Facebook is implementing AI to find a bunch of people.
Oh, really?
Instagram is slowly filling because everybody's going to TikTok.
TikTok and Twitter are crushing Instagram right now, man. All you want to do is post ads and have naked chicks. It's tiring. There was a point in time, man, when I really used to like, when you saw a woman, you were like, oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
She's beautiful. Bro, you have desensitized us of what was beautiful before. You want to cancel me, come at me. We'll argue about it. It's whatever.
It's a culture.
Get out of here.
Cancel culture.
Listen, man. Cancel culture.
Hey, man.
Canceling you. Okay.
Don't cancel that. Like
all,
and subscribe.
We all have
subscribe.
We all
and
have
like,
eraser. Yes, please do not cancel. Yes, subscribe. We don't want to, Ladies and gentlemen, incredible times. Until next time, praise and out.